Los Angeles Rams with Bob Waterfield handling the
passing chores, and with the former West Pointer Glenn Davis receiving, get off to a fast
start against the Cleveland Browns in playoffs
for the National League Championship. Touchdown for the Rams. 30,000 chill
spectators see the Browns fight back. Otto Graham, the
Cleveland Pro team's ace aerialist, can't find a receiver, so he just proceeds to run with the ball.
He's a threat no matter what he does.
Here's Graham again, and
he spots his man this time. Jones
is the name, and hauling it in the end zone is Jones to even the score at 7-all. The weather's cold, the ground's hard, and rough's the word for it, as Horner of the Rams slams
through for a first down.
On a handoff from Waterfield, Smith
drives around the Browns' flank to put the Rams within
striking distance of the Cleveland goal line. Horner keeps going, and at the end of the third period,
the Rams lead 28-20. A comfortable margin, or so it seems,
until the Browns pick. Graham too speedy
is the combination that gets the fourth quarter rally going. It's an uphill battle for the Browns,
but they're on their way.
Graham to Baumgartner
in the end zone. Now only 1 point separates the two teams.
Still trailing, but with Otto Graham still clicking in the pass department,
the Browns won't be denied.
Jones carries to the 16 before the Rams stop him.
And time is running out. With 20 seconds left
to play, Lou
Groza boots it through the uprights, and
the Browns win 30-28. Groza's field goal
turned an almost certain setback into glorious victory for the champions from
Cleveland.
A football star is big news. John Postel of the downtown he presents Dick Kazmaier, Princeton's All-American
backfield ace with the Heisman Trophy.
Honors galore have descended upon the Tiger Star, who was top yardage gainer on the nation's gridiron this year.
John C. Postel, president of the Downtown
Athletic Club, presents the Heisman Memorial Trophy to Billy Bessels of Oklahoma University,
the outstanding college football player of
1952. The speedy Sooner halfback was selected for the honor by the experts on the basis
of gridiron performances such as this.
Oklahoma's touchdown king also won All-American honors and has been named Player of the Year
by the Cleveland Touchdown Club. 15.
Billy Vessels sparked his team to many
a victory with his scoring romps.
After graduation,
pro football perhaps
for the sensational Billy Vessels of Oklahoma. High man on the sporting
pole and tops in our book too.
The four horsemen of football fame gather round to congratulate All-American
Johnny Latner, winner of this year's Heisman Award. Don Miller and Elmer Layden are
two of the four on hand for the presentation at New York's Downtown
Athletic Club.
Rounding out the foursome, Jim Crowley and Harry
Stuhldrayer. Big names of yesteryear, as
Johnny Latner, number 14, is the big name of this year. Winner of the Heisman Award as the nation's outstanding player,
as well as winner of just about every national
award in the books. The 20-year-old halfback from Chicago was a key man in Notre Dame's touchdown
parade and a big hero with the fans.
He hopes to win his Air Force wing
someday, but would like to play pro ball
before being called to service.
Best known for his ground-gaining
talents, he could pass, too. Oh, he could pass. This play covered 55 yards.
And oh, yes, he caught passes, too.
Just an all-round player who made just about everybody's All-American.
Johnny Latner
of Notre Dame. In the dressing room before the game at
Tacoma's Lincoln Stadium,
professional wrestlers don football togs for their charity clash with the Seattle Ramblers.
Frank Stojak, a city councilman,
and Bronco Nagurski, one-time football great, are among the grunt and groan grapplers out to do or die
for sweet charity. The Muscle Bowl,
a benefit for the Associated Boys Clubs. When grid grapplers warm up for a razzle-dazzle, no holds are barred. Make no bones about it. The Bonebender All-Stars
are a bruising bunch
and raring to pit their wrestling know-how against the youthful poise, pep, and polish of the Ramblers. So it's play ball. And the Ramblers waste
no time pinning the All-Stars to the mat.
The Gritters may not know their wrestling, but they'll pass. Yep, the old heave-ho works perfectly. One down, and two falls to go. The Grunt and Groaners did score a touchdown, but it was too little and too late. They lost.
Dallas, where
Rice meets Alabama in the Cotton Bowl before 75,000. Star of Alabama is hit hard, fumbles the ball, and Taylor of Rice recovers. And here it is, that play
you've been reading about, Billy Magle
of Rice on his way to a touchdown, tackled by Tommy Lewis,
the emotional Alabama fullback,
who gets off the bench and brings down the speeding Magle. Just too full of Alabama, Lewis said afterwards. Rice got the touchdown
anyway, and more.
Magle put on the greatest running show in Cotton Bowl history. His 3 touchdowns helped his team gain a 28-6 victory over Alabama. New Orleans and Sugar Bowl highlights. Georgia Tech versus West Virginia before 75,000 spectators. 20 yards through the air and on the ground for the rambling wrecks of Georgia Tech, sparked by Pep Rogers, Tech quarterback. Rogers passed for 3 touchdowns. This first one, a 20-yard bullseye to Hensley. Rogers also kicked a field goal and 2 after-touchdown kicks. But now the Mountaineers of West Virginia get up steam, with Bob Moss carrying it to the Tech 6-yard stripe. Fullback Danny Williams takes it from there, outflanking the Engineers to chalk up 6 points for West Virginia. Pepper Rogers rewrote the record book of the Sugar Bowl with his dazzling doings today.
Hensley gets credit for snaring some of Pepper's 16
passes completed out of 26 thrown. On a handoff from Rogers, Leon Hardeman rambles for 24
yards and another Tech TD.
Sugar Bowl, 20th edition. It's a thriller. Football is quicker than the
eye, but no quicker than Tech's Larry Ruffin as he
speeds 44 yards through West Virginia defenses and flies into the end zone. Georgia Tech wins
42-19.
So who is this guy who rewrote the Sugar Bowl record book in 1954?
He was obviously destined for
Fame and fortune. You know, the whole 15 minutes. Movies, books, pro ball, maybe even a coaching stint. But really,
who is this guy?
This Pepper Rogers.
I don't know who he is. I never met him.
Why, sure everybody has. He's a blackjack dealer up in Vegas.
Pepper Rogers, the coach. If I don't have the answers here.
Pepper Rogers. Isn't that the coach up there on Venice Boulevard?
I have no idea.
I got your son. Put it on!
We're going to win this football game somehow. I don't know how, but somehow we're going to do it. But we got to play harder and hold on just a little longer. Somebody says they blitz. I didn't know that was the rule. What I'm going to do for you, you know what I'm going to do for you if you win? Hoffman?
Yo.
We'll throw a hot dog party. All right, let's get out there and get after their ass. I love being here in this game with you all in this state. Do you love it?
Yes.
Do you love it?
Yes.
You like to get paid?
Yes.
Then let's go out and play. That's what I say. We all get paid when we play. Don't we?
Yes.
Do we get paid to play?
Yes.
When we play for nothing?
Oh.
You're wrong.
While many of Rogers' records have since been erased, those marks made by Syracuse Orange and Jim Brown in a game against Colgate remain indelible in the record books. Some 39,000 fans, including New York State Governor Harriman, came to Archibald Stadium on Gray's Saturday in November to see once-beaten Syracuse close out the season against Colgate. What they witnessed instead was a scoring display for the ages. Brown scored on runs of 6 inches, 15 yards, 50 yards, 8 yards, 19 yards, and 1 yard. He also kicked 7 extra points, although the 50-yard run seems to have taken a little steam out of his kicking leg. At halftime, a thoroughly delighted press box announcer proclaimed the score Brown 27, Colgate 7. For the gentleman, Jim let quarterback Chuck Zimmerman in on the fun, adding his 4th extra point of the day only after Zimmerman had snuck over from the 1. On the afternoon, the Orange rushed for 511 yards and scored touchdowns on 9 of their 11 possessions. To put Brown's record in perspective, unless another combination kicker-running back comes down the pike, a player would have to rack up 8 touchdowns to eclipse his mark. A scan of the box score tells the story. 22 carries, 197 yards, a 9-yard per carry average, 6 touchdowns, 7 PATs, and 43 points for Jim Brown.
$65,000 are in the stadium as the Giants meet the Colts for the Pro Grid Championship. And through the first half, Johnny Unitas has the Cinderella team down in the dumps with his brilliant passing. Unitas climaxes an 85-yard drive with a perfect pitch to Ray Berry in the end zone. And Baltimore leads 14-3 at the half. But the Giants rally. After a stand on their own 1, Connerly's long pass to Rote clicks. Rote goes 62 yards. He fumbles. Webster scoops it up, and he keeps going. But he's hit and out of bounds on the 1-yard line. On the next play, Mel Triplett dives over to score. The Giants are playing like contenders again. Connerly connects again. And Gifford carries the ball, and the Colts Milt Davis, both over the goal line. The Giants lead 17-14 in the 4th period. Then with the seconds ticking away, Unitas pitches to Berry, part of a brilliant drive for yardage. The Colts are on New York's 13. With only 7 seconds remaining, Steve Myra boots a field goal from the 20, and the game is tied up as time runs out. For the first time in National League history, a game goes into sudden death overtime. After the Giants failed to advance the ball, Unitas takes over, masterminding an 80-yard downfield drive. Unitas completes 4 out of 5 passes. New records were set for receptions and yardage. Johnny Unitas, the quarterback who couldn't get a job a few years ago, moving the ball to the Giants' 1. There he hands off to Amici. The horse rams across, and the Colts win 20-17. One of the exciting games ever. At ceremonies in New York, presided over by Vice President Nixon, Billy Cannon is named America's outstanding football player. Proud members of the audience are the parents and the wife of the Louisiana State halfback.
To Billy, the atomic cannon of college football, the man who continues the great tradition of the Heisman Trophy winners, it is my privilege to present to you the Heisman Trophy for 1959. Thank heaven he's a weightlifter, because I can't lift the trophy myself.
Here's one of the plays that won Billy Cannon the Heisman Trophy, playing Mississippi. He takes an Ole Miss punt on his 11-yard line. Watch the run back. Yards for the touchdown that wins the game. Twice an All-American, he's the nation's top college gridder. Navy star halfback Joe Bellino, center, is awarded the Heisman Memorial Trophy as Coach Wayne Harden looks on proudly. Also for Philadelphia's Maxwell Trophy, Bellino is twice honored Outstanding College Football Player of 1960. In the balloting by sports writers and sportscasters, Bellino won by a wide margin. One highlight of his outstanding record is that he's the only Navy man to score 3 touchdowns in one game against Army. That was in 1959. This year, Bellino was an outstanding ground gainer for the midshipmen. This 58-yard run from Navy's 1 turned the tide against Army in the first quarter. A few plays later, Bellino scored the first touchdown against Army. Army's first effort was a long pass score that would have won, but Bellino intercepted on the goal line and saved the game for Navy. Joe Bellino joins the immortals of college football. Ernie Davis of Syracuse, the fleet Syracuse halfback, is voted the Heisman Trophy as the outstanding college football player of the year. The 21-year-old whiz kid is as hard to stop as a 10-ton truck. Watch that number 44. Over for the touchdown, the kind of playing that sparked the Syracuse offensive. Ernie hopes to play 8 or 10 years of professional football and then pursue a business career.
He looks like an astronaut or a jet age specialist, but it's Terry Baker, an all-around college athlete in the old American tradition, from one of our land-grant universities. Quarterbacking for Oregon State at the Liberty Bowl game this postseason, Terry tore off 99.5 yards for a spectacular winning touchdown for Villanova, the only score of the game. Frank Merriwell or Red Grange couldn't have done better. But to Terry Baker, it was by now a habit, for all season long, as here against Iowa, the man carrying number 11 had been showing all the qualities: passing precision, dash and nerve in his running plays, and outstanding work with receivers. Terry demonstrated against Stanford how a cool head and concentration on the job could pay off. Then a 20-17 victory over the University of Oregon, State's traditional rival, clinched it for Terry in his last scheduled college game, from which his teammates were to carry him off the field on their shoulders. What kind of a man is this Terry Baker? His mother, at their modest Portland home, takes pride in Terry's scrapbooks. Youngest of her 3 boys, he showed athletic promise even in grade school, where he won a gold ball. At Jefferson High, Terry made his letter in baseball, basketball, and football, and was all-state in all 3. He followed an older brother to Oregon State, though he had his choice of colleges. There, his sports ability, along with his sincerity and charm, have made him liked and respected, a natural leader. Terry Baker's collection of seemingly simple characteristics somehow have added up to a kind of greatness. Purpose, ability to concentrate, and a real desire for education kept Terry in the A's and B's all through college, despite his full athletic schedule. His triumphant senior year in sports brought Terry Baker more awards and a rich professional offer from the LA Football Rams, whom he expects to join. But most appropriate of all his honors are the famed Sports Illustrated amphora, given him for the quality of his effort and the manner of his striving, and the national magazine's designation of Terry Baker as Sportsman of the Year, announced in its latest issue. Terry, now playing on Oregon State's basketball team, amply demonstrates that sport is not a means to an end, but an expression of that unity of virtues of mind and body to which a complete man must aspire. And we at Sports Illustrated point with pride to the slim young college player who now joins the great of other years as Sportsman of the Year for 1962.
Navy quarterback Roger Staubach, one of the football greats of modern times, receives the Heisman Trophy as the nation's outstanding college player. He earned the reward with performances such as this one against Duke. A past master of passing, Roger is cool and collected under pressure. His coach says Staubach has a sixth sense to do the right thing at the right time. He scores on the field, and now he scores with the sports writers. Roger Staubach, Navy's big gun.
Notre Dame quarterback John Huart is the winner of the Heisman Trophy, football's most coveted honor. At the Downtown Athletic Club, the game's top man is congratulated by club president Francis Barry. Huart nosed out Jerry Rome of Tulsa University in close voting among the nation's sports writers, who chose Huart on the outstanding job he turned in for Notre Dame in an almost perfect season. His passing game was superb all year, and when he wasn't passing, he was running. Here, Johnny scores against Michigan State on a keeper. So it's a happy epilogue to a great season for Notre Dame's Johnny Huart. He's football's Man of the Year. 80,000 fans fill Spartan Stadium, East Lansing, for the game of the century. Notre Dame versus Michigan State, the two top teams in the nation. Michigan State's ball. Quarterback Jimmy Ray passes to his right end, Gene Washington. The aerial is good, and the Spartan attack starts to roll. Second quarter, Spartans ball. Ray hands off to fullback Regis Cavender, who pounds through for a first down. From the 4, Ray gives Cavendish again, who finds a hole in the Irish line and goes over for the first touchdown. With the Spartans leading 7-0, quarterback Ray on a keeper skirts his right end for good yardage. It's a wide open game between these two collegiate giants. Halfback Dwight Lee gets the call on this one and rips off more yardage for the Spartans. With fourth down, Spartan kicker Dick Kenny attempts a 47-yard field goal. It's good. Spartans 10, Notre Dame nothing. Notre Dame to kick off, and halfback Tom Quinn brings it back on a return of 38 yards. The Fighting Irish show plenty of fight. With Hanratty injured, sophomore Coley O'Brien quarterbacks. A pass to Bob Blyer, good for 8 yards. O'Brien decides to throw again. A long one. Halfback Bob Gladio outraces safety man Jess Phillips and makes a beautiful catch for the touchdown. Spartans 10, Irish 7. Young O'Brien continues the air attack. Operating like a cool veteran, he fires to fullback Larry Conger for the gain. With double and even triple coverage on star end Jim Seymour, O'Brien picks alternate targets. Good to Dave Haley. Mixing passes and his ground game, O'Brien hands off to Conchar, who rips up the middle. A hard tackle jars the ball loose, and Michigan State recovers. An offside penalty nullifies the effort, however. From 28 yards out, Joe Azzaro tries the tying field goal. It's good, and the Spartans and Irish have 10 points each. Spartans ball, and Ray looks for a receiver downfield. He throws, and Tom Shern intercepts for Notre Dame. He takes the ball from midfield all the way to the Michigan State 18-yard line. But now time becomes the all-important factor. With less than 5 minutes remaining, Azzaro's attempted field goal is no good. Notre Dame and Michigan State both gained glory in a 10-all tie. At Dallas, the NFL title is on the line as the Packers face the Cowboys. Veteran Packer quarterback Bart Starr opens the second quarter with a 51-yard bomb to Carroll Dale for the TD. This makes it Packers 21, Cowboys 14. Later, 31-year-old Starr, playing his 5th championship game, rifles a bullet to Boyd Dowler for another score. Dowler was shaken up on the play after a hard tackle by Mike Gector. Dallas, playing its first title game, fights back through the air. Don Meredith throws 68 yards to Frank Clark for a touchdown, but time runs out, and the Packers intercept in the end zone to put the game and the championship on ice. Green Bay wins 34-27. Meanwhile, the same day in Buffalo, the AFL title game pits the Bills against the Kansas City Chiefs. Chief quarterback Len Dawson throws on the third play from scrimmage and hits Fred Abranes for the TD as Kansas City goes out in front 7-0. Buffalo struggles to draw even as quarterback Jack Kemp throws to Elbert Dubenian,
who carries it the rest of the way for a 69-yard scoring play, tying up the game 7-all. Second quarter, Chiefs ball, Bills' 29-yard line. Dawson to Otis Taylor for 6 points, and Kansas City now holds a 14-7 advantage over Buffalo. Later, Kansas City back Mike Garrett scrambles, reverses field for a wild 18-yard scoring run. The Chiefs beat the Bills 31-7, win both the AFL title and the right to face NFL champ the Packers in the first interleague Super Bowl. In Los Angeles, the first Super Bowl game puts the Packers against the Chiefs. First quarter, Packers ball. After a 6-play, 80-yard march, quarterback Bart Starr connects to Max McGee, and Green Bay is first on the scoreboard. Kansas City stays in the game on the arm of Len Dawson. With good protection, he hits Otis Taylor on the Green Bay 6. Dawson, rallying his AFL champions from behind, passes to Curtis McClinton for the tying touchdown, 7-all. Before the half, the Packers on the ground shows itself. Star running back Jim Taylor, behind good blocking, sweeps his left end to score. At the half, Green Bay 14, Kansas City 10, after Mike Mercer kicked the field goal for the Chiefs. This first meeting between the champs, the NFL and the AFL, produces plenty of thrills. The turning point in the game. A Packer blitz forces Dawson to rush his throw. Willie Wood kicks it off and gallops all the way to the Chiefs' 5-yard line, where Mike Garrett makes a touchdown-saving tackle. But the Packers can't be stopped. Elijah Pitts takes it over and puts Green Bay out in front, 21-10. Starr to McGee touchdown pass. The Chiefs out of the Packers 35-10. A super debut for the Super Bowl. Former Minnesota quarterback Tarkenton is traded to the New York Giants in pro football's biggest deal. Giant coach Allie Sherman cites Tarkenton's ability, leadership, and experience. Allie appears quite pleased. Perhaps he's thinking of Tarkenton's talent for scrambling out of the passer's pocket to complete long throws. Or he may remember his fine play calling and ball handling during his 6 seasons with the Vikings. Tarkenton has ranked among the NFL's top 10 passers since his All-American days at the University of Georgia. He's expected to be the Giants' answer to Joe Smith's colorful New York Jets quarterback. Fran Tarkenton, new life for the Giants who have known past glory. Spring practice for the Crimson Tide of Alabama, and everything seems to be just like any previous year, but it's not. Head coach Bear Bryant spurs on his Southeastern Conference champs, and among the players, pass receiver Andrew Purnell, one of 3 Negroes on the squad. Birmingham's Tucker, temporarily sidelined with injuries, is a member of the previously segregated team. Big Doc Roan, the guard, likely to see first-string action, completes the trio. Alabama gets ready.
Southern Cal against UCLA, and 90,000 fans watch Bruin quarterback Gary Beban keep and carry for 11 yards and a first down. On the Trojan 12, Beban gives to halfback Greg Jones, who goes in for the first score of the game. Bruins ball, and Beban again goes to the air, but Trojan Tashman intercepts in the flat and goes 55 yards for a touchdown. The conversion is 7-all to end the quarter. Southern Cal's ball. Quarterback Steve Soggy pitches out to O.J. Simpson, the nation's leading rusher, who takes 2 Bruins into the end zone, making it 14-7 Trojans. UCLA fights back in the 3rd period as Beban passes to end George Farmer, and the play covers 53 yards for a TD. The kick makes it 14-all. 4th quarter, Beban throws again, this time hitting Dave Nuthall for a 20-yard scoring play, and the Bruins go out in front 20-15. Usually reliable Zenon Andruasishan, kicking soccer style, misses the all-important point after. Now the Trojans turn, and Heisman Trophy candidate Simpson gets under the Bruin kickoff and brings it back to his own 34. Both Simpson and Beban are rivals for the coveted Heisman honor. Simpson breaks the game open with a dazzling run, cutting over the middle, going a total of 64 yards without being touched. His dash notched a decisive touchdown for the Trojans, who had lost the national #1 ranking to UCLA. The Coliseum crowd goes wild, and it's 20-all. Ricky Aldridge's kick makes it 21-20, and the Trojans are Pacific Coast champs and Rose Bowl bound.
The Heisman Trophy, most coveted collegiate football award, goes to UCLA quarterback Gary Beban, who's passing devastated Bruin opponents for 3 years. His overall record, 23 victories, only 5 losses. Beban's potential future in pro football makes him the likely draft choice of Minnesota. Beban will parlay Gridiron into greenbacks.